Yo, what's up, you guys? So welcome back to episode number 3 of our 60 to 99 overall no money spent journey, featuring our 611 Chris Bosh build. And we left off that episode at a 70 overall. So to kick off episode number 3, I'm going to be putting 1000 VC into our free throw. We are going to be making our NBA debut today, and we are going to be playing on the Hall of Fame difficulty. So if we do get a chance to get some points at the free throw line, I definitely want to be able to knock them down. And now with that free throw being settled, we are going to be making our debut up against the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks, they have a very good team going into this NBA season. They did pick up Kristaps Porzingis, where we're going to have to be defending. They also have Onyeka Okongwu down low. So a really good matchup here for our first game. And we're going to be coming off the bench. Of course, we haven't made it into that starting lineup yet. And we're going to be rocking the number 0. We are going to eventually work our way up, acquire that number 4 jersey from Scotty Barnes when we take over this team, when we become the franchise player. But for now, Chris Bosh, we're going to be rocking the big O out there, as we are going to be checked into the game at the end of this first quarter, towards the end of the first quarter. There's still 4 minutes left. We're going to be playing these games on 8-minute quarters. So we do have a 5-point lead as we check into this one and scoop up our first rebound. We're going to be a role player out here. We're definitely not the first option on offense. We're going to have to do all of the little things. We're going to have to slowly work up our teammate chemistry. We're going to have to slowly work up our attributes and everything like that, as they're going to swing the ball around a little bit right here. Grady Dick, he's going to take that contested 3 ball. He's a good shooter, but knocking it down contested, not his forte in this Hall of Fame difficulty, as we do pick up our second rebound of the game. These GOAT skills are going to matter even more now than they were in high school and overseas, as we get a nice pass right here. Emmanuel quickly, I'm just letting the play out right there. I see him moving. I see where he goes. There's some space, so I hit him. That's a nice little hookup right there. Back to the 2-man game. I'm setting him a screen, and Emmanuel quickly is going to knock down the 3 ball. We do get a screen assist right there, improve our teammate grade just a little bit, as we have a 7-point lead on this game. Onyeka Okongwu down low. I'm trying to front him a little bit in the post. He's going to set a screen for Trae Young. Trae Young dimes him up with that dimer with our low interior defense. I tried my best to get a contest, but it just did not register right there. So now with the 5-point lead, I'm going to have the ball up at the top of the key right here. Go open to the open area on the side, and we are going to knock down that. We do have gold shifty shooter thanks to our max +2 on that badge. The mid-range game, that's going to be our bread and butter up against this Hall of Fame NBA defense. Now with the 9-point lead, I'm coming back to Emmanuel quickly. He has Trae Young on him. Trae Young, not known as the best defender, so I'm trying to see if he can cook him up a little bit. He doesn't get around him, so I'm going to hop in the post right here, give it over to Grady Dick. I don't think I can get off a bunch of post fades, so I'm really trying to share the ball out here. I think that's a really good look for him, but he's going to miss that one wide open. And then we are going to be checking out of the ball game after our first stint. Couple rebounds out there. We do knock down a jumper. That's not too shabby for our debut so far, but we obviously want to be able to do more out there. So now we're going to be checking in at the start of this second quarter. And this one's going to start out with us running a quick little play for me, seeing if I can get open out here, just trying to change up our looks a little bit. I'm going to hop in the post right here, see if we can hit that go-to shot. It works so well overseas up against those France defenders, but out here in the NBA, they see it coming. I'm going to set a screen right here, Jacoby Walter. The screens have definitely been working. I do see a mismatch, though. That's going to be Luke Kennard on us. We have the height down low, 6'11" frame. Should be able to get that one to go with that easy green light. Now, up in the post again, I see another height mismatch. Trying to get down low with it. That's going to be another green light, and that is going to push our lead up to 10 points in our first NBA game. But later on, with a 6-point lead, Scotty Barnes, he's almost able to get a steal. I'm going to come over for the help defense, though, get a nice contest at the rim, and now we're running in transition right here. Grady Dick, he's not really a big-time ball handler, so I'm going to call for the ball from him, pass it over here to RJ Barrett, who can definitely get himself a bucket off the dribble. But he's going to take a really tough shot right there. Kind of forced that one a little bit, but hey, man, these guys, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, they're going to have to be getting these shots off the dribble. What I can do is get that shot right there to go. Nice little catch and shoot green light. As I come over to help, though, Trae Young is going to dot us in the quarter. I don't think Onyeka Okongwu is the greatest shooter, but he does have the ability to knock it down. Hall of Fame difficulty. Seems like he's going to make us pay every single time, so I got to do better on that in the future. Now with only a 5-point lead on the game, I'm trying to go to my go-to shot. Porzingis, he's so tall, so you know what? I'm going to pass the ball over here to Brandon Ingram. He's going to hit me back for it. Wide open jumper right there. Same exact spot later on. Porzingis, once again, this dude is like 7'2", 7'3". He gets an easy contest on us right there. So now I'm switched off in the corner on Jalen Johnson. Going to try to help out. I see Emmanuel quickly. He's going to be guarding Trae Young. I think he's going to get beat off the dribble. And once again, a rookie mistake, leaving a shooter open. I'm not sure exactly what level of dimer Trae Young has on him, but it's certainly impacting his shooters positively out here, as now we only have a 2-point lead on the game. But luckily for us, Porzingis is going to sag off on the pick and roll. He's going to guard the rim, and he's got to learn that Chris Bosh is going to be able to knock that down right here. I'm not expecting the alley-oop. That is something that I didn't realize that the Hall of Fame CPU would be doing. Is the ref calls a foul on this snatch block. I'm immediately like, all right, coach, we got to challenge this, man. Chris Bosh gets his first defensive highlight out here, and they're going to call a foul when it's literally a snatch block. There is no contact on that block.
The ruling on the floor stands.
But unfortunately for us, the refs see it the other way. And yeah, that's our first taste of some NBA refereeing when necessarily agree with every single call out there. But later on, we do get our first dunk on the game as we're trying to take this lead back in the fourth quarter. Currently down by 4. We're able to get that dunk to go to give us 14 points. I'm going to go to our go-to shot right here and knock that one down. So now we're up to 16-7 on the game. But we really need to cut into this deficit as I throw a bad turnover right there. I think he's going to be able to beat him on the cut. And Trae Young, being the superstar that he is, he's going to make us pay in transition. This is the time that Ice Trae usually comes alive in the fourth quarter. So now we're going to see if we could chip away at this lead a little bit. And I do have a height mismatch right here. They're going to come over and double, which is smart. So we're going to pass around a little bit. Trae Young still on me, though. So I call for a back, swing it over to Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram, he does take a shot right there, but the release is off. Only 5% contested. And as I try to come over to help, once again, Trae Young, of course, he does make us pay by dotting us up in the corner. And after that, coach, he's seen enough. We're not doing enough defensively for the team. So we do get checked out of this ball game. And we do end up dropping this first game by 7 points. A 7-point loss to the Atlanta Hawks in our NBA debut. Not mad about it, though. I feel like we did a pretty good job getting used to this Hall of Fame difficulty. The Toronto Raptors were obviously not going to be the best team this year, while Chris Bosh is still at a 70 overall. So you know what? A 7-point loss, it could definitely be worse. After that one, we do get ourselves 959 VC for the loss, as we finish that one with 16 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal on the game, shooting 47% from the field. And you guys can see that difficulty multiplier 1.6. That is the difficulty multiplier that you get when you're on Hall of Fame difficulty. And after this game was completed, we do get an extra 100 VC for that quest right there, NBA debut. So that will also be added to our total. And after game 1, we are sitting at 1,600 VC to spend.
So the more I can do, the better endorsements I could get with anyone.
And so after our NBA debut, we do get introduced to our endorsements. And immediately after we get introduced to our endorsements, I noticed that there's a quest that we can complete. We have to play 2 games here at the Open Court Athletics, and we will get 1,000 BC. So that is exactly what we're going to do now. Haven't played any of these Open Court Athletics games yet, so this is going to be our first taste out here. But you guys are going to see this difficulty. It is no joke for a 70 overall. I didn't think that it was going to be difficult, but yeah, this first game we get absolutely blown out. We are able to put up 4 points and a few rebounds out there, but our opponents out here, a lot of NBA players. Kevin Durant was absolutely killing us. Also Wemby, he's a beast in these Open Court Athletic games as well. Second game, we do get ourselves a little bit better performance individually. The game was closer. We finished with 8 points and 3 rebounds, but that's perfectly fine because the quest was just to play 2 games. So we're going to get 1,000 VC for completing that quest right there. So after that quest completion, we're up to 2,900 VC. I'm looking at the 3 ball. I would like to eventually be able to knock down, just take a couple steps back out of the pick and pop and knock down a 3 ball. I feel like 60 on Hall of Fame difficulty, still going to be very difficult, but maybe occasionally we can take one when we have GOAT skill active and everything like that. So we decided to go up to a 60 on our 3 ball. And then it was time to hop into game number 2 right here. An even tougher opponent than game 1 for us, because this is going to be Giannis and Miles Turner down low with the Milwaukee Bucks. And we're going to be checking into this game at the end of the first quarter. The score is currently 25-25. So first stint with the starters, it looks like they're doing a pretty good job up against the Bucks starters. The Bucks, I'm not too sure if they're going to be better than last year, just because, their guard play isn't that good now that Damian Lillard isn't on the team. And obviously he's going to be hurt all year for the Trailblazers, but they definitely have Miles Turner down low, who's going to be affecting our individual game with Chris Bosh. So next possession, we're going to get a stop, and I'm actually going to leak out. You don't see that often, Chris Bosh leaking out, but we'll get that easy dunk right there. Now with 2 points on the game, I'm going to get a nice step back right here over Bobby Portis as we're up to 8 points in the game right now, making use of this gold shifty shooter. We're going to bump our total up to 13 later in this third quarter. I have a mismatch down low up against Gary Trent, and we're able to get that one to go. And now we have our GOAT skill active. That is the green light GOAT skill. That's going to boost our mid-range and our 3-ball. So I'm really looking to be aggressive now. We have 17 points on the game in the fourth quarter, but we are down by 9. Definitely need to stop right here up against Giannis. I'm doing everything I can, and it just does not matter. Giannis is an absolute beast, especially on the Hall of Fame difficulty, but that doesn't change the fact that we have our GOAT skill active. I have to remain aggressive if we want to get our first win on this NBA season, and obviously we want to eventually be in the starting lineup so we can get even more touches. We're able to get a stop right there up against Giannis. I have the ball, get a pump fake, don't want to just try to pull it in his face with his wingspan, so I decide to set a screen, go to a pop. Much better shot right there as we knock down our first 3-ball in the NBA. That's going to push us up to 22 points total, and now we are down by 6 later on after another stop. I'm going to go with a step back once again. The Siakam step back is working great for us on this Chris Bosh build. We all know Chris Bosh, an amazing mid-range scorer, as we get another stop on Giannis right here. We're really turning up with our defense. I see someone open. That's Emmanuel quickly, but he's going to take a contested 3-ball right there. The closeout was super fast. I thought he was open as well. Oh, I think that was actually Jamal Shed. That wasn't Emmanuel quickly. So nonetheless, man, we're able to get ourselves another stop. It's currently a 4-point game. I'm putting it into our first option's hands. He's trusting me with it. I try to pull a 3 in Kuzma's face. Unfortunately, I can't get it to go, but look at Chris Bosh coming over with the help defense, getting a block right there, running in transition. We're setting our feet. We're making the most out of this GOAT skill, and we are cutting the lead to 1 right here as Brandon Ingram gambles on the block, leaves Kuzma wide open, and coach checks us out. But luckily for us, he doesn't check us out for too long. He knows who has a hot hand right now. We're still only down by 2. So now we need to get a stop. They're going to throw it down low to Miles Turner, their newcomer this year, and he's going to finish that one off. So with 2 minutes left in the game, we're down by 4, and I don't have my GOAT skills active anymore. So Chris Bosh out here, man, we're going to have to definitely play smart. We can't force up some really tough shots like we were knocking down with that green light GOAT skill active. But luckily for us, Brandon Ingram, he's ready for the moment. He's going to finish that one off. We're going to pick up the assist and cut the lead to 2. Giannis, we all know that they want to get the ball to Giannis. So I'm trying to cut off the pick and roll. He's just going to get the ball, zip right by us. We have barely any interior defense on right now, so we just don't even connect with him. Brandon Ingram, once again, our first option was scoring. I'm not mad about the ball being in his hands, but that was just such a tough shot as we do get a block right there up against Giannis, but we need to score. Time is ticking. I don't have a good 3-ball right now. It's only at a 60, even with 2-way tenacity active. I can't force that, but one thing I can force is the mid-range jumper. Miles Turner, he's able to get a 9% contest. Still was a good look, still was a greenable shot. We just can't get that one to go. Another tough loss right there. That was a close game and our best game so far. 27 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. One of those was on Giannis. So very impressive second NBA game for us as we do total up 1,100 BC in that one. We also do go ahead and do our daily spin after that. We get 1,500 BC from that. And then there's also a daily challenge. Simply just go over to this limited edition store. So that's for 500 BC right there. It only makes sense to knock that one out. That's easy money. And after knocking down that simple daily challenge, we are up to 3,300 BC. And I'm going to hang on to that as we do head into our third NBA game right here. This one is going to be up against the Dallas Mavericks, who are 2-0. We have yet to get a win. A win here up against a team that's undefeated to start the season would be huge, but you guys know the bigs on the Dallas Mavericks. They have, I don't know, they might have the best big man depth in the NBA, especially if you consider Cooper Flag a big when he plays at the 4. But yeah, man, Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, they have Derek Lively, PJ Washington can play the floor, and that is exactly who is going to be guarding us. We still haven't yet to score a point. We don't have a rebound on the game. I'm trying to make an impact out here, so I'm going to hop in the post. I'm going to go to a post fade, and we are able to get a green light in that one. So now with a 3-point lead in this second quarter, we get a good contest right there on PJ Washington. We immediately leak out. Look at the hop step though from Chris Bosh. That was a great layup right there, and we currently do have a 4-point lead. We're hanging with these good teams. I'd say the Hawks, the Bucks, and the Dallas Mavericks. They're all good teams, and we're hanging with them. We're definitely showing that we have fight in this Raptors squad. Chris Bosh, he just needs to develop more. So after that miss, I got to make sure that we're sharing the ball. Emmanuel quickly, he's going to do a great job on that pick and roll right there. I'm able to slip behind Cooper Flag and finish that one off with a nice one-handed flush. Now, with an 8-point lead on the game, I'm hitting a jab step on Gafford. I know his perimeter defense can't be too high, so we're gonna knock that one down with a hand in our face. 14% contested, but Chris Bosh, that is his bread and butter. Speaking of bread and butter though, Anthony Davis, anything around the rim, it's gonna be tough to stop that. Now it's 75-75, Chris Bosh knocking down another mid-range. We're up to 12 points in this game, along with 4 rebounds, and we're in another close one as they feed Anthony Davis down low. Our interior defense, it's just not cutting it up against these talented bigs in the NBA. Absolutely needs to be a focal point for us to be upgrading in the future if we want to have any success of just making the playoffs this year and any success once we do make the playoffs. But here we go, man. We can't even be thinking about the playoffs. We got to be thinking about getting our first win. Brandon Ingram gonna take an insane shot right there, but CB4, I guess I should say CB0 for now. He's gonna clean that one up with a nice one-handed flush. Anthony Davis, he's gonna come back and attack us. This time we're able to get the stop though, and I'm running in transition, trying to see if they'll reward me. We do have this green light GOAT skill active. I'm going to be looking for our step back over Gafford right here, and we do get that one to go in crunch time, 81-79. Playing some defense right here. Jamal Shed, that's exactly what he can do. Passing it up to RJ Barrett, who gets a nice one-handed flush as I try to come over with some help defense in the fourth quarter. We can't get the block, and coach decides, you know what? I've seen enough of rookie Chris Bosh out on the court, and we do take our 3rd loss in a row. We lose that one by 4 points. Definitely tough to be taken out, but hey, man, that's just how it goes when you're a rookie. We definitely are still proving ourselves. We put up a nice 16 points and 5 rebounds against some really tough bigs out there. Not a bad game from us, as we do total up 944 VC in that one. We also get a quest completed for 500 VC, as next game we are finally going to be added into the starting lineup. So after that game in quest completion, we're up to 4,700 VC, and I do decide to put that into post control. Now that we're going to be in the starting lineup, I do want to be a viable option to throw the ball to down low in the post. We're going to be starting next to Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, and Emmanuel quickly. Interesting that they're still bringing RJ Barrett off the bench. We're going to be going up against one of the most talented bigs we have ever seen. Victor Wembanyama standing at 7'4". He's going to be our matchup for this one. I definitely don't want to go anywhere near that paint, so we're going to start that one off with a nice mid-range jumper. You guys are going to see though, Victor's height, it's going to be tough to stop. This is exactly where we want it. We want him shooting threes out on the perimeter, as I'm able to knock down the 3 ball without any GOAT skills active. That is just a 60 overall rating, as we do get that one to go. And right here, once again, I don't want to attack Victor down low. Out on the perimeter, I like our chances though, as we get a nice step back over him. Even though it was contested, we're able to knock that one down. Now up against Victor once again, trying to work off a screen right here. Any space, I'll take it, as we do cut their lead to 3, but later on. Currently down by 14. I'm just going to stick to our game plan of staying out on the perimeter over Victor Wembanyama, go to these step backs, the Siakam step back. It is working for Chris Bosh out here, so that's exactly what we're going to do later on. Playing some interior defense, we're able to get a stop. Currently up to 11 points on the game. I'm calling for another screen. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as we knock down the 3 ball with our GOAT skill active. Now up to 14 points. And the refs, to start off the year, man, they are not liking Chris Bosh.
After the review, the ruling on the floor is overturned.
Luckily for us, though, we do win that challenge. But of course, after the challenge, that means we have to do a jump ball. The jump ball goes to Wembanyama. They immediately feed Wembanyama, and you guys know exactly the way that that turns out. It's going to be an easy bucket. But now at the end of this second quarter, our first game starting, we're going to knock down the 3-ball, staying away from Victor Wembanyama shot blocking on the perimeter. Speaking of shot blocking, Chris Bosh able to get a big block right there. We're going to spike that one off the backboard. I get the ball down low. We have Stephon Castle on us. This should be an easy bucket. And yeah, of course it's not. We definitely need to work on our inside scoring. We don't have much close shot. So with our GOAT skill active, we're going to go where we know we have the ratings currently, and that's going to be another green light 3-ball from us. Now up to 22 points in the game to start out this third quarter. Wemby, he wants to protect the rim. He does not want anything to do with us on the 3-point line. So I'm just going to take that one right there, and then I'm going to hop in the post right here and make use of our new silver badge post fade phenom. But unfortunately for us, Wembanyama, he's just going to be way too much. He's eventually going to start stepping out, contested these jumpers. We're going to finish this one with 32 total points, 10 rebounds on the game. Very good stat line up against the talent of Victor Wembanyama, but you guys can see Vic, he ended up with 40 points and 13 rebounds. He didn't have any blocks on the game, so he didn't shut us down too crazy, as we did have 32 points ourselves, 10 rebounds. We had 1 steal, 1 a block, 1 assist, but 13 of 33 from the field. He was making it difficult for us. And after that performance in the loss, we were going to pick up 970 BC. And after making our NBA debut in the starting lineup, we are also going to get a quest completed, and that's going to be an extra 500 BC for us. So that's going to put us at 1,500 BC total. And next, I'm going to be looking at these quests. You guys are going to see right here, I noticed that we are just 1 activation away from completing that second tier of awards to get ourselves some BC for completing the GOAT Skills Defense quest. So I figured, you know what? Let's head back over to that open court training facility and let's knock that out, because you can activate GOAT skills over there. And in this game, we're actually going to pick up our first win out here in the training facility. We're up to 10 points and 5 rebounds. We're going to end this one off with a green light to give us 12 points total on the game and our first W. And you guys are going to see we are going to complete that GOAT Skills Defense second tier reward. There's still one more tier that we can get through, but that's going to be a nice chunk of BC for us, as we're now up to 7,000 total. So then I decided to play a handful of more games to completely finish off that GOAT skills quest for our defense, and that is going to bring up our total to 17,000 VC. And this is when it dawned on me that this is just a really great VC method. Anything that you have close to being completed, you guys are going to see our total 3-point shots we're not that close with, but total blocks we're only 8 away. You can definitely get 8 blocks out there. Total points we're at 941 out of 1,000. That's really close to hitting another threshold. Total rebounds we're at 193 out of 225. That's really close to another BC threshold. Now on top of that, the Open Court Athletics also has weekly quests that you can complete. If you play 30 games in a week, they will reward you with 2,500 BC. We're already at 24 games total played after completing that GOAT Skills Defense quest. So I figured, you know what? Let's just reach some of these thresholds and some of these other quests. So after grinding out all those games, you guys are going to see we're going to head over to our completed section. We obviously completed that GOAT Skills for Defense. We're able to finish our green light activations quest. We're able to finish the daily. We're able to finish the weekly for 2,500 BC. Our total points, we were able to reach that 1,000 threshold needed. Our total rebounds, we were able to reach 225 threshold. So that's going to be some more BC added. Total blocks, you guys are going to see we also were able to get up to 51. So that's going to be another third tier reward added for our BC. Our total steals, we were even able to get that, even though we don't have the highest steal. We were able to get 15 right there. And our GOAT skills total assists, we were also able to get up to that second tier reward, 75 out of 75 completed for that one, for a little bit of VC. And after all of that, we're going to be sitting on 38,000 total VC. So if you're ever getting close to any of those thresholds, you feel like they're in reach, you don't want to knock them out in NBA games, the Open Court Athletics is a great place to knock out some of those quests. And after that, I do decide to spend 31,000 of our VC. I'm going to be putting in a close shot. I'm going to be putting in our driving dunk, our standing dunk rating, and I'm also going to go ahead and max out our mid-range so we can have access to that silver deadeye. An 82 overall rating on the close shot, it does look weird, so we're going to go ahead and throw one cap breaker in there, and that is what our plan was this entire time. You put one cap breaker in there, we're going to get +2. That's going to take us up to silver paint prodigy. Eventually, I would like to put 5 total cap breakers into our close shot. and that will put us at a 92 overall rating. But for now, we do have priority with those 4 other cap breakers. So for now, it's going to sit at that 84 overall rating. Up next, after making those upgrades, we do have access to some more badge slots for our max +1s and +2s. And then to finish off this episode, we are also going to be unlocking our final body type with this Chris Bosh build. We aren't going to be looking super skinny out there anymore. Chris Bosh, he definitely wasn't the biggest player. He wasn't looking like Shaq or Dwight Howard anymore, but he definitely had some muscle on him. So we are going to unlock our final body type with Chris Bosh, and that is going to do it for episode number 3. So in episode number 4, we're going to be hunting for our first NBA win. We're going to have a bunch of attributes upgraded. We're going to be finishing this one off at a 75 overall. The Chris Bosh evolution is happening slowly but surely. So if you guys are ready for episode number 4, so we can get our first W out there in the NBA and make some more progress on this build, definitely do drop a like. I really do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more of this, definitely do subscribe to the channel. But in that one, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. You understand it now.